Over the past 50 years, nothing has created more millionaires than the 401k. So the question is, are you using this powerful tool effectively? And what makes it so effective at creating millionaires? I've got that and more coming up. I was telling this story recently, just it happened to come up in conversation a little bit about, why I got into financial planning in the first place. And both of my parents, their childhood as they grew up, they both lived in poverty. Okay. And yeah, it's very different these days than, back in, the 1940s and 50s. And, but yeah, that neither of them grew up with, not middle class, like they were in poverty, but I didn't grow up in poverty. By the time they were having kids, they had my brother and myself, they were very much in the middle class. I was raised in the middle class, and I know it all feels a little bit different these days, especially with inflation, K-shaped economy, all that sort of stuff. But what was it? What was it that caused them to grow up in one situation and yet live in a different situation just, a decade or 2 decades later? Primarily, guys, the 401k. And it wasn't just the 401k, right? There was a lot of luck, a lot of great habits. My father was working from age 17, working full time, went to college at night, took him 7 years while he worked full time and then went to night school at the community college. My mom, just by the grace of God, was in a car accident, almost died, was in a coma for a couple weeks, got some insurance payout money that allowed her to go to college. Right? They could have chosen, we got 30 grand. I think it was 30 grand is what she said. They could have taken that and said, boy, we can finally buy a house, or we can finally do. No, they said, no, Leanne, you can use this money however you want. She said, I want to go to college. And so all sorts of things, right? But as my dad was working as just sort of digging trenches early on, his company introduced a 401k. Now, this is shortly after the 401k was discovered by accident as a contribution retirement plan. And my dad just didn't really think about it. He said, I'm going to start contributing into that. I'm going to start saving into that. And no one told him to. No, there was no video. There was no YouTube video that encouraged him to do it. He just started saving into it and kept that habit. And yeah, they made a bunch of great financial decisions over that time, but they were able to retire in their mid to late 50s. Unbelievable to go from growing up in poverty to that level of financial stability, financial independence. Now, they both happen to work in jobs that were covered by pensions, but they also saved a considerable amount. I'm going on record of saying the 401k over the past 50 years has created more millionaires than any other single instrument, okay? Real estate might be close on its heels because of the real estate boom that we've had over the past 50 years in the United States, but you'd like to think, it's tech startups, or it's this flashy thing, or maybe it's sports or whatever, and certainly that has created mega millionaires, right? But what instrument has created more millionaires than anything else? I'm saying the 401k. So, not that that's you've got to become a 401k millionaire, or you've got to become a millionaire in order to achieve your financial goals. No. I want you to achieve your financial goals, whether that is, multiple millions or whether it's $500,000 or whatever it is. But what makes the 401k so potent, so powerful in achieving and building wealth? And are you leveraging these attributes? Well, there's 4, okay? There's 4, and there may be more, but these are the 4, in my opinion, our collective experience here at Korhorn Financial Group, that you say, gosh, if you've got a 401k or any workplace retirement plan available to you, you've got to leverage these attributes so that you can build wealth in the most effective way. Attribute number 1 of the 401k that makes it so powerful, it sounds so simple, but automated savings. Automated savings. There's a saying, pay yourself first. I never heard that phrase growing up. As soon as I started my career here, I heard it a lot. Pay yourself first. The simple fact that you can withhold dollars from your paycheck, they go directly into your 401k. They get directly saved before your money, the rest of your income, hits your bank account. Unbelievably powerful. If you're a fan of the Wise Money Show, you know one of the habits or principles that I preach is I want you to automate all of your savings. It's that powerful. Just don't even see the money. Don't even make the choice. If you make the choice once, I'm going to save 15% into my 401k, and then don't deviate from it, it's hard not to build wealth. How do you not build wealth if that's just your posture? You make the decision once, and because it's automated, it just automatically happens. You don't need to decide. Contrast that with the money landing in your bank account and, okay, I need to save $500 into this, into my investment. If you don't have that set up automatically, you're constantly thinking, wait, but the credit card bill this month is going to be a little bit higher, or, oh, we've got a hotel stay coming up in a couple of weeks, or, oh, do we need whatever, right? You're thinking of all the upcoming expenses that are going to be there regardless. But with the 401k, you automatically save the dollars. You don't even see it, and you live on what's left. Unbelievably powerful attribute in building wealth. When you combine that with the 401k's significantly large contribution limits that you can contribute right now, $24,500 if you're younger than age 50, more than that with catch-ups or even super catch-ups if you're age 50 or older, plus company match. Those are some of the biggest contribution limits of any of the tax shelters out there. So automate your savings and take advantage of those big contribution limits. Second attribute, of course, is the tax efficiency, and this is underappreciated as well. I think most of us these days, certainly over the past couple decades, just sort of take it for granted. This deal from the IRS has been around for so long, it's just like, well, of course they're going to do that. No, guys, this is, again, the 401k was discovered by accident. It was not created to be what it is today. It was not originally written into law to be what it is today, allowing employees to contribute into a retirement account or an account where they get some tax benefits. And you might say, well, pre-tax, I get the deduction today. I'll pay tax out there in the future, but I might be in a lower tax bracket in retirement. I'll have lower income, so I'll take that deal. Or I'll pay tax today, but then have all the dollars, withdrawn, all the growth withdrawn tax-free out there in the future by doing the Roth. You might say, those are my choices, guys. You don't realize the power that creates in your ability to build wealth and compound wealth when Uncle Sam isn't reaching his hand in every single year to say, yeah, but you owe me some taxes on that. Yeah, but you owe me some taxes on that. If you've never built up a sizable individual account, joint account, taxable account, non-retirement account, you just don't know the benefit. You can't really appreciate the benefit of that tax deferral, that tax sheltering, because the dollars that you build up in your joint account, individual account, if it's 10 grand, if it's 5 grand, you might be aware of some of the taxes, but if it's 500,000, if it's $1 million, and you've got considerable capital gains in there, trust me, you're gonna feel like those dollars are imprisoned. You can't touch them, because as soon as you touch them, there's going to be these big taxes to them. And then guess what? You touch them and then you reinvest in something else. And then that tax problem starts getting created again. All the dividends, all the interest, all the capital gain distributions, all of that becomes taxable to you. So just the ability that the 401k is tax deferred, it's tax sheltered, an enormous attribute in helping you build wealth. More of your dollars stay invested, compounding to build wealth. Now let's get to the math, right? Attribute number three that makes the 401k so powerful in building wealth, dollar cost averaging. Now, the dollar cost averaging, if you're not familiar with this principle, this is the idea that when you are contributing a fixed dollar amount on a regular basis at regular intervals and investing it into the stock market, say, or really any investment, but that investment is sort of going up and down, you are able to buy shares at an average lower price than you otherwise would. So here's how it works, okay? If you're saving $1,000 a paycheck, this is a decent amount, and you're investing in the S&P 500 index, well, those $1,000, when the S&P 500 index is trading right here, they're going to buy a certain number of shares. But then as the S&P 500 goes up over the next month, that $1,000 is now going to buy fewer shares because the share prices are higher. But then we have a AI concern or some sort of tariff or some sort of conflict, and the S&P 500 really crashes, drops significantly. And now your next $1,000 are contributed when the S&P 500 is trading down here. Now you're buying more shares. You buy more shares when the prices are lower and fewer shares when the prices are higher. Therefore, throughout the year, as the stock market is a roller coaster, from a high point to a low point, on average, will drop about 14% a year, sometimes significantly more. That's just an average. You're buying more shares at those dips, right? And so therefore, dollar cost averaging allows you to have an average lower purchase price of those shares and allows you to essentially buy more when the prices are cheap and buy fewer when the prices are expensive. And then finally, the 401k is built for long-term investing. It's built for long-term investing. It is not built for day trading. And yes, I actually love features within the 401k that allow you to self-direct and that allow a brokerage link option. And then in some cases, yeah, I suppose in those instances, you could trade more frequently. However, the old adage I believe is true. Investing's like a bar of soap. The more you handle it, the less of it you have. And the 401k, oftentimes, because it's just, well, you only have a few mutual funds, many of them have short-term trading restrictions. You're not able to just go in today and, sell something and then tomorrow buy something back and then, the next day buy something else, Friday buy something else. There's not, and because you only have a smattering of investment choices and you're not going to say, all right, should we buy Tesla today? Oh no, Tesla's crashing. Let's buy Google today, blah, blah, blah. Like the short-term trading that a lot of people can do and some can do effectively for a short period of time. Very, very few can do effectively over a long period of time. You're really not able to do that in a 401k, and therefore you leverage the principles of just let me invest for a long period of time and let the overall economy and market do the work and heavy lifting for the long term. So those are 4 principles that really give the 401k the power to help you build wealth and accumulate wealth and achieve your financial goals. Are you leveraging them to the greatest potential for your financial situation? Automating your savings, are you contributing the right amount? The tax efficiency, are you contributing the right way, pre-tax or Roth? Dollar cost averaging, are you taking advantage of that by investing your new dollars aggressively? And then do you have the right investment structure for long-term wealth building within your 401k? Work with your certified financial planner on that. If you don't have a CFP on your team, you can contact one on my team. Find us online, Korhorn.com. That's Korhorn with K, wisemoneyshow.com. You can find us there as well, or give us a call, 574-247-5898. All right, there you have it. Go out and take your next wise step in your financial life.